Welcome, everyone, to episode 42 of the Cosmere Reads, the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. According to this book right here, it's a really good one, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. 42.
Absolutely.
Don't forget your towels.
I get my thumb out.
Yeah, there you go. Don't forget your towel. Always carry your towel. That's an important thing in the universe.
Always bring a towel.
Always bring a towel.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not talking about that book, even though we should do a whole podcast about Hitchhiker's Guide. It would be really short podcast. It's not
We can do the whole series.
We did the whole series. Yeah, the first book's not that long. Actually,
Right.
one of the books is like 1 page long. It's like really short, but it's a great book. So yeah, quick announcements real fast. Jordan Con, it's almost a month away. So I think we're good for that, right, guys? You guys, I think Will, you got everything set up there. Was able to get.
Man, Will, I thought you were going to be my roomie.
Yeah. I wasn't going to subject you to my horrible snoring. So,
Dude, I got you.
Somehow,
Look, blessings on you for saving me from the snoring, sir. Thank you.
You never know. And I figure we're going to be drinking some beers, so it's definitely bound to happen. But somehow
I'm a teetotaler. I don't know what you're talking about.
Somehow I got a room on the room block, even though I booked it literally the last day. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
All good.
Yeah.
Word. Yeah.
Well, also we do have guests tonight, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get our guests in here.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
I love that's what we do for guests is just some good old Kool-Aid man.
Kool-Aid man.
And then another one just showed up. So once again.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
All right. Welcome, the Cosmere Connection, to our wonderful podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
What's going on?
So we got Kay in Reader Warrior. I guess you guys are part of your entire panel of podcasts you guys got, right? So before we get too much further into some other announcements, tell us everyone about you guys, and without spoiling anything for those other guys over there.
All right. So we are a Mistborn. We're a Cosmere reread podcast. So all of us have already read through the Cosmere books, and we are rereading them. One of the people on our podcast, I think he's rereading most of them for the first time. So as we're going through and we're talking through our reactions, things that we didn't notice the first time around that we're noticing now. We do both a non-spoiler section for people who are reading the books the first time, and also a spoiler section for people who have already read all the books and are not afraid of spoilers for any and everything in the Cosmere. So we're working our way through Hero of Ages right now.
Word.
Yeah.
Fun fact, this is the exact same chapter set we had Alan on.
Yeah. I came on their podcast a while back, and
nice.
for the exact same chapters. Yeah, so
good deal.
Fun times. And thank you, Reader Warrior. Are you still on the other side of the pond, like staying up this late to do this with us? Okay.
Oh wow. Hey.
Yeah.
Currently 1:07 in the morning.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, that's a commitment, man. Thank you for doing that. That's awesome. Cool. Well, I also do have to say before we get any further, because I don't know when we're going to record the Will Reads again. It's going to be next week sometime. So take a week off in between books. So do a quick little advertisement plug. Episode is brought to you by NordVPN. Currently, we're running a special. If you go to our affiliate link on our website, thecosmereads.com, you'll see the links for that are thewheelreads.com as well. You can get really good deals on a VPN if you want it right now, like super cheap. So that promo is running through the 20th of March. So thank you, NordVPN. And if you guys want cheap VPNs, and Nord's a good one, go check it out. That's it. That's my little plug.
I'll say one thing about VPNs, man. Did you know if you go into like Disney Plus outside of the United States, you can watch like all the R-rated stuff? You go to Canada, they show Walking Dead on Disney Plus in Canada. It like blows my mind that you can see like one of the most horrific shows on TV on Disney Plus of all things. So
I got a bunch of deals with a bunch of places. They're basically a greater Netflix over here.
Yeah, man.
That's like Netflix. Same thing. If you do the same thing with Netflix or any streaming services, they have different catalogs in different countries. So like, there's actually you can Google like where is this movie playing on Netflix, and you can pretty much find every show and every movie in the entire world that's ever been made. It's not available in the United States or in England or in Canada, but if you change your VPN to wherever it is, then you get it.
I've already told the story about the fact I use NordVPN because on YouTube you can watch Poirot, one of my favorite series of all time, for free outside the US.
Yes.
So when I was in Iceland, or not Iceland, Sweden, that's when I found out. I was like, oh shoot, okay, so if I just do NordVPN here in the States, I'm locked in. I got it.
Yep.
So it worked out well.
Yeah. So go check it out. I think the promo right now it's running. It's like only like $2 a month or something like that. If you do it.
It's heck to cheap. Yep.
Yeah, especially with the affiliate link. So normally it's like $10 a month. It's like down to like dirt cheap. So check it out. I think they give 3 months free as well. So yeah, try it out. All that fun stuff. Yeah. So NordVPN. Use our affiliate link if you want to get a deal. Anyways, yeah, so talk about Jordan Con. That's coming up. There's a good Cosmere track there. So anyone who is listening that's going to Jordan Con, I will be going to a lot of the Cosmere stuff there. Well, Orlando, sorry, I guess you guys can go to some of it. There's some that's spoiler free.
Anybody that's ever seen How I Met Your Mother, he has that blinding thing where he like wears it. It's like, I'm gonna be wearing one of those, like the little peephole things through there, and just walking around like this.
There's another content creator that does first time reader type stuff for like the Wheel of Time, and they make little like first time reader like earmuffs, and they hand them out to first time reader that they can put on.
I love it. I'll wear noise canceling headphones, but sure, that'll work.
Yeah, earmuffs.
There you go.
Don't get spoiled by anything. Jordan Con is in memory of Robert Jordan, the Wheel of Time, but it is a fantasy con, so there's just one track that's Wheel of Time, and then they have sci-fi, they have Cosmere track. I know Brandon Sanderson might not be there, but his team's going to be there. So like the Lord Keeper, who works for Dragonsteel, and a bunch of the Dragonsteel team is going to be there. So I met a lot of them last year. They're really cool people. But yeah, so
the bigger question, Alan, are you dressing up?
I am. Yes,
nice.
I have my dueling cane and I have my mist cloak. I will be in full Era 2 Mistborn garb. So sorry, it's not Era 1, but and I'm not gonna say the name of the character. It is Era 2 Mistborn.
Okay.
So yes, I do.
Wait. So you're saying your costume is gonna be a spoiler? Thanks.
No, I mean I'm just gonna say like what the character does. I mean, it'll be a Mistborn cloak with like very, very steampunk type like garb underneath. So
yeah, but now we're gonna be reading the books, and I'm just gonna be constantly thinking to myself, is this Alan's character? No.
Oh, you'll know immediately. No. You'll know immediately.
All right.
It's
you will once you get there. You'll know exactly who it is.
Okay.
I already know based on dueling cane.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's somebody we know then.
No.
Era 2 takes
Not
place
at all.
hundreds of years after this.
Look, there's only one dude I think of dueling cane.
Oh, my dear boy Breeze.
Your boy Breeze. That's all I think about. Dueling cane.
I have to keep my dueling cane close by.
That's right.
Recording.
That's right.
Yeah, so fun times. So yeah, that's it for announcements. Like I said, for the Will Reads, we are taking a week off because between books and Chris is moving. But we'll be back the following week with more of that content. So that's all I got for announcements, I think. So without further ado, are you guys ready to talk about some Mistborn?
Yeah,
let's go.
Did you guys enjoy these chapters, Will, Alonda?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I knew they were going to do the fake out. I knew it. I mean, that end of part 2, I was like, "I'll get out of here."
It's not reading. Okay.
I could see right through that. I was like, no, don't even try.
Do we want to air the grievances before we start, or do you want to come naturally during this podcast?
I mean, usually I air them naturally, but you know.
Okay, that's just okay.
There's no reason to be hating on Tensoon.
Yeah.
We can get there because
there's not a Tensoon chapter. I don't think.
There's no Tensoon chapter. We can go there right now. Let's just go.
Let's start there.
Let's go horns in right now.
No, let's go. Come on. You do Orsier for 3 chapters. One where he's pretending to be Kelsier, one where you first meet him in Well of Ascension, and the one where Vin gives him the dog body.
But he still had an impact on Vin. He basically served as a mentor to her as she flew through the ranks.
He did
the ranks of the aristocracy. He was doing his best with what he knew how. A young, scrappy Condra.
That was Renew, though. That wasn't even Orsier.
That is Orsier. That was him.
It was him playing a part.
And?
It was him playing a part. It wasn't actually him. It wasn't actually who he was.
Wait. Is that what we're going with now? That if you dress up as someone, so when Will shows up and Jordan Kahn dressed up,
if he is a Condra, then yes, then that is what we can say.
If Will shows up dressed up at Jordan Kahn, I'll be like, I don't know you, man. I don't know you.
If he shows up with a whole new face, then yeah.
Okay.
If he shows up wearing a yellow polka dot bikini, then I don't know him either.
Damn.
Well, we're throwing you all kinds of places right now, just to let you know.
I love it. That's what I'm here for.
Good times. All right.
Out there.
Tensoon's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Thumbs up for everybody except for Londo. All right. So part 4, Beautiful Destroyer. We'll jump right in. I'll do a little epigraph reading. A man with a given power, such as an allomantic ability, who then gained a hemalurgic spike, granting that same power would be nearly twice as strong as a natural unenhanced allomancer. An inquisitor who was a seeker before his transformation would therefore have enhanced ability to use bronze. This simple fact explains how inquisitors were able to pierce copper clouds. Just a little nugget of information there.
Right. I thought something in that was going to like circle back around to Vin.
Yeah.
And her capabilities. Nothing really eye-opening there, but I was waiting for something. Kind of create a linkage, but not quite.
Also explains why they would go after seekers to make them inquisitors, why Marsh was picked out. Because if you have that ability, they can easily find more mistings.
It's true. Yeah.
Because I mean, the Inquisitor's main job during the Lord Ruler was to hunt down mistings, so it would make sense to have Inquisitors that could pierce copper clouds.
Right.
Yeah. So we're in this cavern with Vin and Reen.
Look, even in the text, it says the fake Reen, right? I mean, or something. I can't remember exactly how it's like worded.
The imposter Reen.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you kind of showed your hand already. So
yeah. And she's like, go ahead.
I'm in agreement, except for the fact we're seeing this from Vin's point of view, so we have to. So she doesn't think it's Reen, therefore
true. But it's just something about that brother sister bond though. You just know. I have a twin sister. And we've had a bond since down as youngins. There's just something there. Like I could tell when she's off a little bit. Heck, we would have that little bond. I knew she had a bad day, and she wasn't around. So yeah, I trusted her on that. I trusted Vin. I was like, it's not quite that. It's just you just get a vibe. It's like, what's going on? Universe just calls to you like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I sometimes think I have that like power with my wife, and then realize my wife has the power with me, but then it's just bad gas, and she's like, something seems off. Like, nah, it's just bubble guts, man.
Man, I can't don't put Happy out like that. Oh
no, me having bubble guts, not her.
Oh, okay.
Me, yeah. she has that power for me, not.
Oh, okay. Oh man, thought you have to do the apology tour later.
Oh no, me. I always trash on me, not her.
Okay, good.
She's a saint. She puts up with me. So So yeah, I mean, Vin tries to do like her duralumin zinc blast to try to. She originally thinks it's a Contra. She's like, this has to be Contra. It's not
Right.
Rain. You're a Contra. Give it up. I know what you guys are. Like, quit messing around. Like who sent you? Whose contract are you under? And he's like, Contra, what are you talking about? I'm your brother. And she's like, so then she tries to do the zinc thing and nothing happens. She's like, okay, not that. I
thought it was interesting that she was like, who would have even thought about studying Reen? Like, he was so like
a nobody.
Yeah, he was a nobody.
Right?
Like, why would anyone have thought to study Reen in order to imitate him?
Right. Yeah. And of course, why would he be there? I mean, really think about it. And this is the logic part the whole time I'm reading this. Logically, it makes no sense for him to be there in this locked dungeon.
Right.
Zelda dungeon, right? It makes no sense, right? So I was like, it just doesn't. Yeah. Look, like I always say, the math didn't math. And I was like,
Sure. So then Vin goes on the offensive. She tries to attack this green character, and every time she comes up, she's hitting thin air. She can't hit shit. And Rain just said, hey, can you just stop and we talk about this? And she's like, no, I'm not. I don't know who you are and why you're here, and I don't want to talk to you. I just want to kill you at this point because there's no good reason why you be impersonating my brother. Like, this can't be anything good. And even when the lights go out, she tries to listen for him and thinks she hears them and then attacks him, and he just goes through air again. But she can sense his pulses, and she thinks that maybe okay, Rain wasn't an Allomancer, so it can't be a contract. Because Condos just can't be Allomancers. She starts is it the Mist Spirit? Like, she starts going through everything that.
Right.
What is this thing?
I got a lot of vibes, by the way, on this episode of the Star Wars Reads. The Last Jedi, when it was Luke Skywalker force projected himself out there. And it was the whole thing where it's you didn't see the salt didn't move when he walked. I got all the vibes of that that whole time where she was trying to fight Reen. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of Last Jedi vibes on that one.
Yeah. And eventually, the fake Reen gives up and just well, guess I'm not going to fool you. I'm not Reen. I'm Ruin. So, hi. Hi, it's me. I have the problem. It's me.
He slowly puts his sticky note name tag on. Hi, I'm Ruin.
It's like the scene in Harry Potter with Tom Riddle and he just drops the middle two vowels.
The facade, yep. And he does the whole thing, he writes his name and all the letters rearrange. Yeah. I am Lord Voldemort.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ruin. I'm trying to destroy the world. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, they have a little bit of philosophical. Here they had a little philosophical conversation about destruction and how the ending,
a little repartee going back and forth.
Yeah, there's something beautiful about the a finality and ending. That's there's something poetic about death and destruction and something coming to an end. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which Vince I don't buy any of that bullshit.
True.
No. And then she's like, well, how'd you find me? And this is when Ruin makes a revelation. I've always been there. I've always been with you. Mm-hmm. And changes in her head. Reen's voice pops into the back of her head and then slowly morphs back into Ruin's voice. Don't trust anyone, Vin. Burst in her head. So, thoughts about this?
That part didn't quite make sense to me.
Okay.
Because I got the impression that Ruin could not really influence your thinking. Mm-hmm. It can influence all these external things.
Sure.
But it couldn't get in your head, which is why it was safe to keep your thoughts to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then that whole thing, it just kind of threw me a bit. And I was like, is this a new skill? Like, did he level up? Did he just
he's been Zane's head and Marsh's head and a bunch of other people's heads.
Well, we didn't get a confirmation of that. You've been saying that, sir.
Okay.
You've been
Also-
saying if there's a possibility. Go ahead.
There's also a difference between being able to put thoughts in someone's head versus being able to read what someone is thinking.
Right.
Because in the next Vin chapter, Ruin keeps pushing her ahead, and Vin realizes he can't read my thoughts or do anything. He just has a one-way radio.
Okay. So it's tinfoil hat time, people. Let's go.
But my favorite part about this chapter is the fact, like, anytime you reread the other two books, all those time Reen whispers into her mind. Like, you have to wonder, was that Reen? Or was that Ruin?
Was that her conscious, or was that Ruin the entire time?
I'm going to be honest with y'all, by the way. I am really looking forward to, after finishing this book, doing a reread.
Oh, you're going to love it.
I am really looking forward to it because it's like, Alan makes it so, he's like, oh, it was like sitting there the whole time. And I'm like, it was there the whole time. And now I want to go back and reread the book and then look back at me that was reading for the first time and be like, stupid, it was right there.
Yeah. As someone who has reread these books like 12 plus times, like, I find new things every single time that I read.
Okay. That's cool.
There are little tiny breadcrumbs everywhere.
Right. Which is
even you miss one rereads. Like it's just like, holy crap. Like there was one part where, because I remember when I first did this with Will Reed, with Chris from the Will Reads, and he was on the Well Ascension, and I asked about Condra. He's like, Condra? Like, I know it mentions in the first book Condra, but it's very much in passing. And I thought it was towards the end, and like, it's like chapter 6. Like the word Condra is used. Like, and it's like, but it's like so much in like just like, okay, just glaze over that. I know what that means. Like, has no context at all. It's just the words used in the first book. Like, yeah.
They even say Tensoon is the Venture House Condra in one of the chapters.
In book one. In book one.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I'm not. That's one that I just noticed this time around when we were doing our reread. I hadn't noticed it before, but yeah.
And see, and I've said it numerous times on this podcast. That to me, I'm fine with. If you put a breadcrumb out there and we don't understand it, so we just gloss over it, that's cool. If somebody comes up at the end of a book and all of a sudden somebody has new mystical, magical powers and a new place shows up and there's no explanation, I'm like, get out of here. No, not having it. Not having it. So
that's what I love about Brandon. There's always those breadcrumbs. You will never realize it, but suddenly, there was this entire bucket full of breadcrumbs that was poured onto the book.
Huge fan of that. Huge fan of that.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, like he'd written out all 3 before he published the first one.
Correct.
So like a lot of people always SD retcon this and like make it up as it went along. It's like, no, he actually had written all of it already. Right. So it wasn't one of those things where he's like, oh, change my mind. He didn't pull a Robert Jordan where there's certain characters where like, I'm not going to get into it, but there's definitely like a character that was meant to be one thing and it's in his notes that was meant to be one thing, and then people found out. So he was like, screw you, I want to change it now. Like, none of that happened.
That's what he's doing with the new Mistborn books. He's writing all 3 of them together again.
Yeah. Well, with the new age, so the first 3, he wrote the third one before he wrote the second one because he got writer's block. Mm-hmm. And he wrote the whole last one and then went back and wrote the middle one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
did you just say Sanderson had writer's block?
Correct. He did.
That sounds like a lie. That sounds like a lie.
He gets writer's block and then he writes a whole new book.
Yes,
and then he writes a whole other like encyclopedia of books over here. Right?
Just like the other day where he just goes on vacation and he writes a whole book.
Well, that's why we got so many secret projects was because he was having writer's block with another book. So he was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write a different book in the middle of writing this book so that I could have a break from this book.
Yeah. I'm gonna give a shout out to Nerdy Nightly real fast because they're doing the Hero of Ages right now for the first time ever, and they made a theory that Ruin is actually Brandon Sanderson's editor, and that he just writes random keystrokes down, and then Ruin goes and just morphs it into a book, and that's how he can write so fast.
I'm a fan of this theory. I like
I
it.
love that. That's hilarious.
Yes, that's the new theory, is that Ruin is the editor of all these books. Which, yeah. There's actually a short story where George R. R. Martin is the editor.
Let's not mention his name. I got so much hate for that dude. I got so much hate for him anyway.
So much hate. Let's see. Now my scrolling's not working. My notes. Sorry, it's frozen. There it goes. So yeah, I mean, I think that's how we end it, with just saying like, yeah, since I was a child, since you were a child, I've been here. It disappears.
Since you were born. I think that's what
I just want to make a quick. Sorry, I just want to make a quick call out on like the mental health thing that I noticed, just with Vin and Reen and how Ruin shows up, and then Zane, and the voices in his head from like, I guess he was abused by his dad.
Mm-hmm.
It really seems like there's some sort of correlation between like people who have like some form of like PTSD or something like that, and him finding a way to just like, or him or her, whatever it is, creeping in, into their mind. So like maybe he can't like influence their thoughts, but he like can tell, they've got some sort of like past history that he can influence or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just going on with the whole like mental health theme that Sanderson seems to include in his works.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Sanderson definitely dives into mental health.
Yeah, Stormlight Archive.
Yeah.
Good call out on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You going to say something, Reader Warrior?
I was going to agree with Will on that. Okay. Basically, it's up to the person to decide how they want to react, even with a voice whispering in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there's I mean, as someone who has met people that have schizophrenia and have actually issues like, where they have deep-seated mental health issues. I mean, of course, everybody has anxiety, everybody has a conscience and things like that, but I'm talking about like it's full on. It's from what I've heard, I don't have it, but from what I've heard and seen, like it's very susceptible to influence and those kind of things. I mean, that's why a lot of them use like service dogs and things like that. I saw a video the other day of someone talking about like how he has hallucinogenic schizophrenic. He sees hallucinogens, so he uses a service dog. When he sees something, he'll tell his dog to greet that person, and if the dog doesn't react, he knows that there's nothing really there. So he can use the dog as a
grounding of reality.
Yeah, grounding to reality, which is
pretty
cool use of a dog. Like, it was just amazing. Like, I was just like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Which I just realized is a great also metaphor for Marsh's character and how, yes, he's got the voice, but he's also being controlled. But Ruin doesn't like puppet master. He just he soothes and rides his emotions to put him in the exact states he wants.
Mm-hmm.
He's completely at the mercy of this illness.
Right.
And Marsh has like thought, and granted, you guys have had like 2 chapters, one where he suffers, one where he's like, I'm going to bide my time. Right?
Yeah.
And like, but he's still allowing it to control him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It seemed like he was, I mean, as far as his book has progressed, I feel like the fight is getting less and less overt. I feel like he's starting to like kind of like relent a little bit as this book is going on. Because it felt like at the beginning, it was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to take over in these moments. And then the last time is like he came up in a chapter, it seemed like he was just like kind of just going along with the flow. And I was like, oh man, he's really just kind of just giving in. I'm not sure if that's the way the book is going to end up, or if he's playing a trick, or I don't know. But yeah, I feel like, I feel like he had a lot more fight in him at the beginning of the book, or even at the end of the last book, than he does now.
Oh, he had a lot of fight in the last book.
Yeah.
Fought says it.
Well, okay, that's nice. I see what you did there. I do not like it, sir. No,
I do not like it. No, sir, I do not like it.
That's right.
Wrap up.
Yeah. There you go. So you guys ready for chapter 46?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right. Ruin's escape deserves some explanation. This is a thing that even I have a problem understanding. Ruin could not have used the power of the Well of Ascension. It was of preservation. Ruin's fundamental opposite. Indeed, a direct confrontation of these two forces would have caused destruction of both. Ruin's prison, however, was fabricated of that power. Therefore, it was attuned to the power of preservation, the very power of the well. When that power was released and dispersed rather than utilized, it acted as a key. The subsequent unlocking is what finally freed Ruin. Yeah, so.
No. Literally, I've read this. When I say read, I mean, of course, I've heard because I do audiobooks. I was like, thanks for the exposition. I had nothing to do with it. I had nothing to take from that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, interesting
information. But
yeah, just 16 times.
When I read that, I was like,
Alan. Don't do it, man.
Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear.
Don't do it.
What were you saying, Will?
I'll have to read it 16 times before I really make it.
Stop saying it.
I feel like that's just something. Yeah, sorry. That's something that I'm like, I'll get back to that when I reread this book because, like, right now I'm just. I think it'll make more sense maybe after a reread or something. But, yeah.
Sure.
I think the only thing you really have to take away from that is that preservation and ruin are opposites.
Right.
Yeah.
And that they can't be in they can't exist in the same space at the same time, kind of thing.
It's like magnets, negative and positive charge. There's big repel and yeah.
Yin and yang.
Exactly.
It's Tyler Durden
and the narrator.
The narrator who has no name. Actually, we do find out his name, but I forgot what it was. Somebody can
his name is Jack.
Jack, there you go.
Yeah, I'm Jack Spleen. I do nothing. I am Jack.
Yeah. Jack.
Yep, his name's Jack. Fun little takeaway from Fight Club. It does not mention it. It just mentions it as a call, as a little Easter egg in the movie. But in the book, his name's Jack. But in the movie, he does the whole thing where he's reading these little haikus. And he's like, "I am Jack."
The book is so well. He does do that in the movie, but it's
he does the movie as a call to the book. But yeah,
right. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. So yeah, Sazed. So Sazed, Breeze, Arion, they're all waiting for Spook.
And Spook steps up into his best self.
Yeah.
This guy starts he really just steps it up. I mean, how the heck did he go from zero to hero?
He's letting
trauma.
I guess that'll do it, right?
Yeah.
He's got that big survivor energy, It's just it's giving him that
big survivor energy, that BSE.
BSE. He's now the survivor of the flames.
Yeah, man. Look at the flames. That's right. Yeah. All right.
Waiting for Spook to return to the storage cavern and speculate on his actions and his ability to jump from two stories. At this point, Sage doesn't know these can burn Peter as well. So, and Sage is thinking he's like, there's no known examples of Allomancer gaining new powers after snapping. So he's like, I don't understand how that happened. Like, this has never happened before. I don't get it.
They got all the questions.
Yeah. Of course, we as a reader know what we know, but Stacey doesn't. Right. So it's always fun when literary devices use those kind of things. Stacey also goes back into looking at some religions again. He looks more at Trellism, which has come up multiple times throughout these books. Good old Trellism and Trell. I don't know if you remember that. That was the religion that they talked about, I think, in the last book a lot.
Trellism, yes.
Trellism.
Yeah. This is only the second time it's been mentioned, but it was mentioned in one of, I think, in the last book. Yeah.
Last book, yeah. Yeah, but most religions aren't mentioned more than once, so this is the second time a religion's been mentioned. But and he's partial to this one because he finds the vagueness of its doctrine kind of a little bit more intriguing, I guess. Or he finds that because he's trying to disprove all these religions, and all the religions have all these hard like lines, and he's like, oh, it's easy to contradict them. This one's so vague, it might actually be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we go switch to Spook. So anything from Stacey before we switch over to Spook? To Les de Bones.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that this chapter has definitely been focusing a lot on like Seisad's fight within himself about his metal minds, about like his desire. Like he wants to use them, but he also is like, I shouldn't be using them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seiza is going through, talk about mental health issues. Seiza is going through a very, very long grieving process. And, as we learned from last book, he pretty much gave up all religions, but he's still fighting with, at his core, who he is. He's a scholar. That's
right.
His entire life has been devoted to learning things. So to give up learning, in essence, he's slowly realizing that's not who he is.
Right.
So
he's going to be confronted with that soon.
Yes.
Good that he gets confronted about that. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and just, bring it to real world. Religion works best when there's a whole lot of ambiguity. So that way it allows you to interpret things the way you want. Mm-hmm. It actually is the thing that draws people to certain religions is the ambiguity, because then it allows you to have personal interpretation. And that's the reason why this particular religion appeals to everybody, is because it's like, oh, well, I interpret it and it works out best for me in my situation. Right.
You can apply it like as needed.
There you go.
Yep. Very interesting. So switch over to Spook. He visits the citizen's sister, Beldre. Is it Beldre?
In the audiobook it's pronounced Beldra.
Beldra, thank you.
Beldra, that's right.
I was saying Belder.
Belder
from West Virginia.
Yeah. But yeah, telling her that, thinks that she always appears sad. It's wondering what's going on. And, they had this little talk that, he's a member of Kelsey's crew, and that's why he's, he has the right to depose her brother. And they had this whole talk about all this. And she's like, yeah, I've heard enough. If you don't leave, I'll start screaming. He's like, but let me get my point across. She starts screaming. He's like, all right, I'm out. Deuces.
It felt a little tropey, but if you don't leave, I'm going to scream.
It reminds me of I recently watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, rewatched it, of the scene where Aang meets Toph, and Toph is like, if you don't leave right now, I'm going to call the guards, like, 'cause she doesn't want him there.
Yeah.
And Toph being the biggest badass of the whole show. It's like, she didn't need to call anybody.
Oh, no, she doesn't. But
she's like, I can wipe the earth with you, my guy. Come on, whatever. Yeah. By the way, love that show. I mean, everybody loves that show.
Yeah.
Have you watched the remake, by the way?
I have watched the remake.
I'm sorry, not remake, the new.
Yeah. Yes.
I have, okay. I've heard mixed things. I gotta get down.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. It's better than the last time they did it, the movie.
We don't
talk about that one.
We don't
talk about that one.
Sir. All the names are pronounced correctly. Sokka is actually entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was a little worried when I heard that some of the creators jumped ship. Like Kanitsuko jumped, and I can't remember who the other guy is, and they were involved, and then they were not involved for whatever reason. I was like, oh no. So that's the reason I was worried. So I'm glad to hear good things about.
Yeah.
So.
You got to remember that it's an adaptation, so they're gonna change things. Things are gonna be changed, which I think people forget.
Yeah.
When things get adapted.
Yeah. How long did the cartoon version? How many seasons was it?
3 seasons.
3 seasons. 3 books. Yeah.
There were about 20-ish episodes per season.
Yeah.
Each episode 25 minutes long.
At least that's more adaptable than like One Piece, where like I mean, and they did a great job with the live action. But when you have like thousands and thousands of episodes, and you're trying to cram it into live action, it's but One Piece was great. The live action was fantastic. So I'm not crapping on that.
Isn't Naruto another like really long running anime?
Yeah, Naruto.
That's the one, and I heard good things about, but I'm like, I'm not going to pick this up from episode 1.
Yeah,
not happening.
Yeah, like it's really tough to adapt from like a cartoon or anime to live action. I mean, I think One Piece did a good job. Cowboy Bebop, it did. I think they.
I'm sorry, I like that live action. I'm gonna die on that hill. I liked it.
They canceled it.
Some people hated it, and I know it got canceled. I liked it. Another one that came out, Scott Pilgrim. You know, they did the anime, cartoony remake, and it's not a remake. It was a retelling, different story. Loved it. I love the fact they just went a whole different direction, and everybody from the Scott Pilgrim movie cast was in it. It was a win all around. I loved it. I'll die on the hill every day.
Okay.
I love hearing Chris Evans doing something completely different.
And he loves it. He enjoys every minute of it. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Spook leaves because he doesn't want to kill the guards because her screaming. Also ignores Kelsier's orders to kill Quillian because Kelsier had told him.
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to say that Kelsier is a form of ruin? Sorry.
I think we said that last time.
That's a theory. Okay. That was a theory I put out. But yeah, I'm using air quotes every time we say Kelsier. Mm-hmm. There you go. Theory time.
Yeah. There was something last week. Will wasn't here last week that you brought up that Will had a theory on. I can't remember what it was now. I'll have to go back and listen to the episode.
Will, you had some like banging theories. I don't. Which one was it, man?
Reading through this section, I feel like it might have had to do with hemalurgy because something came up.
Oh, hemalurgy being of ruin. That was a theory you threw out.
You threw out like a long time ago.
2 or 3 episodes ago, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I think you're onto something there." Hemalurgy being of ruin, and so it makes you more susceptible. I liked that idea. I feel like you might be onto something there.
Yeah, kind of like a poison, like in a sense. Like once you're hemalurgized, you're like attached to ruin in some form or fashion. But I can't really go deep into it at this point. But yeah, we'll see.
Katie, you want to discuss connection and spirit webs?
Let's go.
No.
Too soon? Is that a RAFO? It feels like
That's a RAFO. That's a RAFO. That's a huge RAFO. I don't know why Reader is bringing that up. That's a huge RAFO.
I'm not going to sleep tonight thinking
it's so vague. They'll never know it.
Hey, Will, I just need to keep throwing out a whole bunch more theories, and I'm just going to look at everybody's screens for the poker faces.
So when Batman shows up in the next part and tries to nuke Gotham City,
right. As American Psycho, but with the Batman voice. Hey, Huey Newton back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to the part where Ruin turns good and it was hope all along?
I say we've been saying on our podcast that Vin is like Batman.
Yeah.
So
Batman.
I'm fine with Vin being Batman, but if I hear the word hope one time at the end of this book,
that calls for a name change.
Oh, of course you did. You know, I still had my name from last time. I still had Hope Sucks up there, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back to So Scott Stanky. But
yeah, I mean, so I was thinking about like doing the fan casting for Vin, and like from Captain America Civil War, Hope Davis. She's Hope.
Who does she play?
Who does she play? Yeah.
She's from that movie. I don't know. I just looked up actress name.
You just said that because her name is Hope.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You have better luck with Hope Van Dyne.
Nah. You should win Hope Van Dyne all day long. I mean, you missed an opportunity, sir.
I think she plays like person number extra number 5.
Oh, right. Shield agent number 3. Got it.
Exactly. Anyway, good old Kelsier. So Stasis also studying the collection of metal mines, recalling how Marsh had used a steel push on his rings as weapons against Stasis at the Well of Ascension. So we're back with Stasis again after this, and he's thinking about that. He feels disinterested and of course looking at religion because everything's flawed and everything sucks and nothing makes sense and all religion's stupid according to Stasis.
Emo says is hilarious.
Yeah. I need to get a GIF with like a guy doing like the
hair flip from South Park.
Yeah,
you gotta do it.
The hair flip from South Park. Yeah,
gotta do it.
The one thing that bugs me is that Saza directly calls metal mines batteries. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
that's not.
Yeah,
I didn't even pay attention to that, but that
batteries.
yeah.
Okay.
I was like, they're not batteries.
I mean, you're storing
distilling a really complex concept down to like,
yeah.
If you like want to talk to your you want to talk to your seeing eye dog and like explain something to it. Like,
I mean, technically, batteries are metal, like nickel and lithium. Like,
nope.
No. I mean, nope. I mean, they discovered batteries that last like 50 years. There are nickel alloys, nickel isotopes that will. The problem is they're just super radioactive. So we can get a battery that lasts 50 years per charge, but we need to shield the crap out of it. So,
ooh, he's trying. Go ahead, keep going.
No, I'm done. And nickel's not one of the metals, at least that we know so far.
Man, I feel like he's throwing Raffos out now.
Raffo nickel.
Raffo nickel. Thanks.
What would nickel do? Let's talk about it.
It turns you to Abraham Lincoln.
It turns you. That's common,
and then you can never attend to play.
Who's on the nickel? That's Thomas Jefferson's on the nickel, right? Yeah.
I thought Abraham Lincoln was on the.
No, he's on the penny.
No, he's on the penny.
Oh, he's on the penny.
Yeah, he's on the penny.
I keep thinking of pennies as nickel because they look like copper, but they're actually. What do they
mostly
call it?
Zinc.
Zinc.
Pennies are mostly zinc. It depends on how old the penny is.
They look like copper, but they're not copper. And I always get confused.
They have a thin veneer of copper.
Yeah.
Right, but they're actually.
There used to be a lot more copper back in the day. Then people started melting them down and selling them. And it got too expensive to actually make copper pennies. They weren't worth a penny anymore. Because copper.
You guys remember during the 2008 financial crisis, they were ripping copper out of people's houses left and right because of how expensive copper is.
That's been going on for years. I used to work for a plumbing distribution company, and we had to keep the copper piping under lock and key at all times because, like, it was bad. Like, you would deliver to a job site and it disappears like overnight.
Oh yeah,
all the copper piped up.
What is it in a catalytic converter that's so sought after? Is that a metal or is
there's lots of platinum in there?
Precious metals. There's a lot of precious metals.
Yeah, lots of precious metals, but lots of platinum.
Right. Mm-hmm. I only know that because I had to replace both of the catalytic converters in my other car. It cost me ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah. So yeah, Stasis, they're in the spotlight, losing his religion once again, and Breeze comes in and he's like, dude, what's the matter with you? Like, I don't like emo you. Like, come on, man. Like, live a little.
Yeah.
Brighten up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Stasis is like, I don't want to wear them anymore. Hair flip.
Stasis like, you don't know me, man.
Yeah. Well, he does give him the explanation of, like, you know, how he was going and teaching like all of his scholarly learnings, right? And it was just so degrading because the world was in such disarray that nobody was interested in learning about any of it. And he was like, what the hell am I doing all this for? You could relate with that for sure.
Oh yeah,
but still, it's like he's taken a long time to get over that. And you know, there's also the Tyndall aspect, which I think is like the overarching piece.
Absolutely. Yeah. Going back to your PTSD thing, that's that's rough.
Or sees it.
I feel like that when I'm talking to my kids half the time, because half the times I try to tell them something like really cool, what I think is a really cool factual piece of knowledge, and it's like, I don't care, Dad. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, all right. Like,
You go hide in the closet.
I'm just gonna go sit in the corner now.
I teach 4th grade, so I feel that all the time.
Bless
I'm
you.
like, this is really cool, and they're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like, well,
They brought up something today, and I was like, bipedal. Do you know what that comes from? Like, so it's the Latin word bi and pedal, which means 2 feet. You know, like, they're like, I don't care, Dad. I'm like,
shut up, Dad. Give me
I
some
thought it was
goldfish.
cool. I thought we were gonna go into like the origin of words and how we put things together and make it cool. All right, but no,
Right.
I'm just lame. Now I'm just gonna stop talking the rest of this episode. So,
Don't worry, we still have our notes from these episodes.
all right, there, good. Help me out. So, yeah, Stacey says he doesn't want to wear the metal mines anymore. Where am I in my notes? You know, all this knowledge was stored there, but it's too late to save the world. So, and just as he's doing all that, an earthquake hits, and Spook returns at the same time. So it's like this, yeah, definitely dramatic entrance. Earthquake, Spook.
I mean, Spook is very dramatic in this book.
He is.
Spook is on a different level, this book. But I feel like this whole chapter, like towards the end of the chapter, I feel like it became an entire history of canals. I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. If I have to hear the word canal one more time, please just
I'm
let it
going to
go.
start going back and finding our old episodes and clipping some of the things you guys said like earlier.
Uh-huh.
Because there's like, I think it might have been book 1 or book 2. I was like, who do you think the next character is going to die? And you're both like, I think both of you were like,
Oh, I
Spook.
definitely said Spook. I definitely
Spook. And I just sit there and started smirking. I was like, nah. Like,
Oh,
it's
I
so much more
definitely-
like,
Oh, I was on that. Yeah. I was on
It's
that
like, nah.
train.
it's not going anywhere.
I said Lester gone is he's
he has
gone,
a lot,
my guy.
He has a lot more to his story, and you guys don't even
Yeah.
know yet.
Yeah. I mean, even in the audiobook though, it's like when he speaks, that whole like affected accent that he had, gone. It's
Gone,
like he's a
yeah.
completely different character now. The way he speaks, that whole like kind of drawl he has. I mean, it's really, and of course, the audiobook. I can't say enough about the guy reading it. It's just chef's kiss. But yeah, the accent going and all that stuff, the confidence he actually exudes now is so well done. Really appreciate all the work they did in that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we should get Michael Kramer on the podcast. It's always fun.
That'd be great. Yeah. But let's canal talk. And look, I was
Canal
born near the Panama
He's
Canal.
just reading the chapters. Don't blame Michael Kramer for
canals.
canal talk.
I don't want to hear about canals no more. Bye, canals.
Like, you don't care about the engineering and how it all works and all.
Dude,
the cool...
I read that tome, and it's huge. That tome about the history of the building of the Panama Canal. Because again, that's where I was born at, and I'm like, I don't want to hear anymore. I'm good.
Yeah,
good. Check it off. Never have to return back to that again.
Yeah, it's not the most driest read.
Say that again.
It's not the driest read. The history of the Panama Canal. I need to. I don't have it in my. It's in my attic. I had the.
I mean, it's terrible. I mean, thousands of people died.
Yeah,
French, Spanish.
It's horrible. I'd say
it's
a terrible. What happened?
Charles Barkley.
You're saying it's a wet read because you're crying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, these puns got to stop, my guys. This is. Oh no! Oh no!
You're gonna kill me. Before we get to that, Spook suggests that they go and spread rumors about the Allomancers that Quellian's been gathering because he's like, gets big revelations. Like, dude's a hypocrite. We need to spread the rumors around everywhere that Quellian's a bastard and that we need to take him down. So, pretty much. And then we get to talking about water flowing through canals.
Fair enough.
So fluid dynamics, not Alondo's favorite topic.
Oh no, I didn't say fluid dynamics is a problem. I'm a physics guy through and through. Let's go there.
Let's go fluid dynamics.
I don't want to hear about canals specifically. I mean, it just.
Did I ever tell you, like, there's a friend I went to high school with. He's working on his PhD in physics. And I made the mistake of asking him one time what his dissertation's about. And he was talking about the quantum level of fluid dynamics and started he got like 5 sentences into what he's working. And I literally just glazed over. And just went, I'm an idiot.
And how when you start going to a subatomic level, physics don't work the same way.
But then on the fluid, and I just glazed over. He works for J Labs, and
I got a book of work over there. Good deal.
Yeah. J Labs does some crazy stuff.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I definitely get that feeling every time I talk to my sister because she's currently getting her PhD in computer science. So in theoretical,
also an IT guy.
Theoretical computer science. So every time I ask her about what she does, I'm just like, I have no idea what this is.
You just gotta smile and nod. You're like,
yeah. I always think I'm smart until I meet people like that work at J Labs and stuff like that. Like so Jefferson Laboratories in Virginia, where we're from / live, used to be the largest
electron beam acceleration
accelerator in America. Now there's one in Texas that's bigger, but so basically,
well, there's also the CERN. I mean, come on.
And CERN. Yeah. Well, in America, it's in America, and there's CERN over in Switzerland.
Right.
That does that too. But they split atoms, and they do lots of crazy physics research.
Yep. Didn't you see the Da Vinci Code? They make dark matter.
Yeah, I'm sure they might do that at J Labs too. They do a lot of weird stuff there.
They have done some
and talking to people that work there, you're just kind of like, I don't understand anything you're saying, but cool.
It's very cool stuff.
I just know, like you can drive past it and you see giant mounds, and when you ask anybody that works there about the giant mounds, it's in case there's a breach that hopefully that dirt will stop it. like what? That's your safety protocol? Is this giant down amount of dirt with the anyway? So going on to more on Spook. So they decide they're going to try to, move the canals back around, get the water flowing. Because if they do it all at the same time, it can be this miracle, and then you can put Spook as his figurehead and give the miracle back to the people. And how do you start a religion? Well, that's what they're trying to do. They're pretty much forming a cult. And they're like, How do we form a cult? All right, this is how we're going to do it. We got to make it like this crazy miracle.
Right.
And
because we know how Kelsier did it.
Yep.
He got the mind of the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out though why, and I don't get why Spook is being so evasive.
Yeah, when Cesar asks him about how do you drop down, he's like, I'm not gonna tell you shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure I quite get that piece about why he's being so evasive. I feel like it's definitely a Raffo, but I don't get why he is like purposefully avoiding answers to every pointed question he's given about his status, what happened, etc.
Because Kelsier never gave answers, and Kelsier is now whispering in his ear.
Forgot the air quotes.
Yeah, Kelsier. That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Cesar just figures that in due time, Spook will tell him. But for right now, Spook's being secretive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts before we move to chapter 47?
I didn't have any.
Okay, cool. Any from you guys? Any notes or anything we missed? All right, cool. Chapter 47. Ruin's prison was not like those that hold men. He wasn't bound by bars. He could move about freely. His prison, rather, was one of impotence. In the terms of forces and gods, this meant balance.
Wait, did you say impotence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that what it says in your version?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it said something else in my audio. I must have misheard that. Holy cow. So it's impotence?
First edition says impotence.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. In terms of forces and gods, this meant balance. If Ruin were to push, the prison would push back, essentially rendering Ruin powerless. And because much of the power was stripped away and hidden, he was unable to affect the world in any but the most subtle of ways. I should stop here and clarify something. We speak of Ruin being freed from his prison, but that's misleading. Releasing the power at the well tipped the aforementioned balance back towards Ruin. But he was still too weak to destroy the world in the blink of an eye as he yearned to do. This weakness was caused by part of Ruin's power, his very body, having been taken and hidden from him, which is why Ruin became obsessed with finding the hidden part of himself. I'm not going to get into it, but there's a lot of implications here, guys.
I feel there's a lot of information that I don't know what to do with it. I got,
got nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, okay, thank you for all these puzzle pieces.
Yeah. So they hit his body. That's what you get on this.
That's all I got really is like he does have a body. I assume it's not like an ethereal, like quote unquote body. I feel like it's like a physical form of some sort. Will, did you have thoughts? I'm curious.
No, I just noticed that the body comes back up later, but I don't really know what to make of
Okay.
all of it.
So what do you think about like preservation and ruin? Do you view them as kind of like spirits, or are they physical beings? Like, we know they have sentience and we know they have autonomy, and they think and act in a very I guess autonomous way. I mean, they're not like just pre-coded. They definitely act human almost. But do you think they are spiritual, or how do you view these? I mean, do you guys have an opinion on that yet? And this is a very, very pointed question, and I'm sorry.
Sure.
Like, if you were to classify them as physical, cognitive, or spiritual, which one would you put it under?
Right now, I would put ruin under cognitive. I feel like, but this is all based on theory of what we have said about the mist presence, about preservation possibly being that. But there's no actual proof of correlation to this point that says that they are actually connected. So I think that that's more of spiritual, and then I feel like ruin is more cognitive, only because that's where we have seen ruin's most effectiveness has been through cognitive, influence. But that's all I've got. Will, please correct me.
I'm drowning. Save me.
Will has the answers.
The mention of the body in this section makes you think there could be a physical aspect. I think up until this point, I've kind of pictured them as like spiritual, godlike figures. But I mean, I also have to bring myself back to this world of, having allomancers and metal powers. I feel like maybe at one point they were just regular old humans with lots of powers, but I don't know. It's going to go somewhere probably totally different than anything I just said.
There you go.
True.
Okay, you want to say it this time?
Raffo.
That's the worst hop out of all time. I mean, we do that.
You want me to spoil the book?
We know Raffo. That part we got down.
Oh yeah. Oh, I spoiled all of it. The bigger
back in year zero.
Yeah, back in year zero. Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna wear to Jordan Con. I'm just gonna have a shirt that says Raffo.
Yes,
since I'm such a noob.
Yeah, I'm worried I'm gonna run into somebody who's completely tanked at Jordan Con. Yeah. He just starts espousing everything, and I'll be oh no, I have to leave this bar.
Chronologically, the first book is White Sands.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, yeah.
White Sands is the first, and then Elantris. And then Mistborn.
Erewhon, yeah.
Erewhon.
Chronologically. But yeah, White Sands has nothing. Well, yeah, we'll eventually maybe cross that road if we want to do a graphic novel.
Supposedly he's going to write an actual written one now.
I know that's been said for a long time. I've been
No,
reading.
he did say that's one of his projects within the next 5 years.
Okay. Okay.
So that because he's gonna take a break from the Cosmere for a second. Well, break from the Cosmere.
To write more
and
librarians and
he finished the librarians.
Okay,
He finished
librarians.
Alcatraz versus the evil librarians, which I was very happy about.
Maybe we'll finally get the Apocalypse Guard and the ending to the Reckoner series.
I also say he's gonna take a quote-unquote break from the Cosmere, which is definitely a lie because he's gonna be doing the White Sands novel during that time, which is Cosmere. So
it's like I told my family that I'm really into Brandon Sanderson, so they actually got me a signed book by Brandon Sanderson. So I was like really excited that I actually got a signed book until I realized it wasn't a Cosmere book, and I was like, it's still exciting inside, but it has a signature on there.
Which book is that?
It's Legion.
Legion.
Ooh, Legion's a good one.
It's a good one. I haven't read it yet, but I got the sign. So.
It was meant to be the script for a TV show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Back
to chapter 47. I have not read it yet. I'll read it eventually. I'll probably listen to an audible because I don't really like to handle signed books. I'll keep that up the shelf.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
Oh.
That's why all my signed stuff is encased in freaking plastic.
Yeah. I just got it for Christmas, so I was like, "Oh, it's a signed copy." Cool.
There you go.
First edition signed. So chapter 47. We're at Ellen's point of view. He's standing in the mist. He's worried about Vin, just being a sad boy, but having faith that her ability, that she can take care of herself, and our good old friend Grumpy Pants Set, comes up and tells Ellen, hey, your plan's not working, dude. Like, we should just go and attack. Like, the siege is not doing crap. Like, just finish it up. Let's get things done. Let's go back to Luthadel. Like, we can just finish this real fast. Good old Set. So I don't know if you think that's a good idea or a bad idea, but they're interrupted pretty quickly.
I'm trying to remember because I thought I wrote good notes and I did not.
Yeah, so Lord Set comes up.
Is this where the fight breaks out?
Yeah, so they get this interrupted. Okay. Yeah, so when they were talking. Yeah, they were talking about like, and Set's like that. The siege is not working. Like, we should just go attack. And like, as they're debating about that, they get interrupted. Right. Like, hey, there's a fight that just broke out in camp. Right. Like, we need to go down there.
I think Set actually says that they should leave and go back and secure their place in Luthadel.
They knew Luthadel's falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, he pretty much says we should attack Fadrix and just get this over with so we can get back. Like, let's not delay. The siege is taking too long. Sieges do take a long time for the most part. Most of the time, sieges take a very long time unless you have very good siege equipment and can take down the walls fast. Historically, a siege is meant to last for a very long time.
Yeah, but I mean, everything, it looks a little dire here, though. I mean, he's lost like a lot of Koloss, right?
He does.
And that was like his big, like, Teddy Roosevelt big stick.
Yep.
Was that Koloss, right? So, I mean, it's looking a little dire right now.
Yeah.
I get where Set's coming from, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just go attack. They don't have walls, right? Fadrix doesn't have walls, right?
It technically doesn't have walls, but it has natural fortifications.
Yeah. It's like the Veil in Game of Thrones. It's just like narrow passes going up to impossible to breach. Right. But they go down to check out the disturbance in the camps. So there's brawls between the Mistfallen and other soldiers. And Ellen goes to try to help break it up, and Ellen orders Demu to go and get his men in line, and one of them turns around and punches the general, which yeah, you punch a superior officer in any military setting. That's usually not a very good thing.
But this guy already had beef with Demu.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because this is the same person who, back in the Final Empire, was tricked into fighting Demu under
And
Kelsier.
Kelsier used Allomancy to beat. Yeah, it was the exact same guy that Demu had fought.
I didn't know that. Okay,
Yep.
I didn't put it together.
Yeah,
okay,
the same guy that Demu had fought in the caverns. That was the big that called.
Who was
Demu
trying to
out.
challenge?
Kelsier used Allomancy to help Demu win the fight.
Okay. No, I didn't put that part together, but I mean, but again, it wasn't like he turned around mid-swing on somebody else and then accidentally hit Demu, right?
No.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
He had beef. He had beef, dude. The guy has a grudge from
so.
years ago. That's just like,
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
not a good look.
it's not.
Ellen's reaction, though, that's a hard one. I didn't know how to think about that, though.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, we're gonna send him swinging," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, do you want to go there? Do you want to go there?" I mean, because you gotta think right now. I mean, morale is low.
Yeah.
Right? It's real low, and then you have this divisiveness because of the folks who've actually been able to like survive the mists better than others.
But that's pretty much any military in the history of the world. I mean, think even in the modern U.S. military, if an enlisted guy walked up to a general and punched in the face, you don't think a court martial and trial and a firing squad wouldn't be behind that? Like,
I don't think a firing squad.
not a firing squad, but like if you go back a few 100 years, it would be
100 years. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was a what did the boomers always say? It was a different time, right? So
Yeah.
I mean,
But this is like medieval type times. I mean, if you look at I may Renaissance, but yeah, you look at the time period and like technology, it's definitely that time period where it's not modern at all. Like,
and I get it because I mean, what else are you gonna do? Take him as a prisoner? I mean, it's not like you really have like a bivouac you can like put him into and like well, he's over there stuck in the corner, working off his anger.
Yeah,
it's like you don't really have a lot of options, and all he can do is continue to sow seeds of discontent amongst the ranks.
Mhm.
I get all that. I hate the idea of just like executing him, but I mean, that's the reality of war.
Yeah.
What do you do?
What do you think about Ellen's decision after all this is like to take the Mistfallen and get him out of there? Tells Demu to march back to Luthadel.
Simplest solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably a better solution, but I mean, you're trying to think on the fly and you're already dealing with a lot. It's like, just get him out of there.
And he is needing to send people back to Luthadel anyway because Penrod had asked for assistance, so he was like, okay.
Because they got their own problems. It's like, well,
so he's
help out with that.
Okay.
I get that. Yeah.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
I also don't think that Ellen's thinking clearly because he's worried about Vin locked up.
Right.
Sure.
So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's thinking, what would Vin do? Not necessarily what should he do.
Right.
Yeah.
And in this entire book, Ellen's been walking that fine line where he wants to assert himself as the emperor, but at the same time, he doesn't want to become another Lord Ruler. And so there's like multiple things in his psyche that are plaguing him right now. He has that whole thing where I want to be hard, I want to be an emperor, but I don't want to be a Lord Ruler. I also have Vin that's now captured that's also plaguing me as well. Like there's just so many. It's a complex character and well written by Brandon Sanderson to write someone that has that much complexity going on because that's real. Most people don't have just one issue in their life. At least I don't. I have a lot of issues, guys. Do you want to talk about them for the next hour?
Brandon always focuses. I don't think it was really in the Final Empire, but he always. Well, I guess Kelsier. He always takes one book to focus on a character. This book, you've got Ellen trying to figure out where he is in compared to Lord Ruler. Last book, Vin and Zane. Zane was basically to try to help Vin figure out what kind of person do you want to be, just the knife and the soldier, because it wasn't really a love story with Zane. Zane had a thing for her. She never had a thing for Zane, but he was always trying to push her, you need to be this kind of Mistborn. This is what you're meant to be. It was always like, that's what we're told we're supposed to be like.
Yeah. Yeah. When it comes to Ellen in this book, though, I love the the fact that it's the interjection of doubt is always, made very clear and evident to the reader, right? I mean, even the fact that he still has so much reverence for human, right? And that the guy, human, is this? I can't remember how to pronounce it. Yeoman, thank you. Anyway,
okay.
he still has so much reverence for him that he even says if they weren't in the situation, he wishes that he could, get into philosophy with him because he feels like there's just like that connective mindset that they have.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's like it really shows the humanity of this character who's trying to be bold and assertive and almost on the precipice of dictatorial, just to try to ensure that he actually garners the respect of those around him, but still it's just like this interwoven insecurity there at the back of his mind is made really evident to all of us, so that way you just know is like the humanity is there. He's not some guy who now all of a sudden has these powers and is in this like elevated position of authority, and then all of a sudden they just went away. It's like, nope, he's still a young guy. He's still trying to figure this all out. And I do appreciate that. That's, again, very, very prevalent all throughout all these chapters.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, sends off the Mistfallen, and then El goes back to Norden's tent to change his battle tactics with Yeoman. And that's how we end this chapter. So I'm going back to the tent with Norden. With his own obligator.
The happy obligator.
The happy obligator. Anything from chapter 47 before we move to chapter 48? No?
Not for me.
All right, cool. All right. Once freed, Ruin was able to affect the world more directly. The most obvious way he did this was by making the ash mounts emit more ash and earth. More ash, and the earth began to break apart. As a matter of fact, I believe that much of Ruin's energy during those last days was dedicated to these tasks. He was also able to affect and control far more people than before. Where he had once influenced only a few select individuals, he can now direct entire Koloss armies. So that's fun to know that Ruin can control Koloss. Any thoughts? No.
I didn't have anything on it. No.
Okay. So we're in Vin's point of view again. Of course, Vin's still down in the cavern, and she's just thinking about Ruin and figuring out how to defeat Ruin, trying to figure it all out. She has no light, so she decides just to kind of feel around and try to explore the cavern more. Eventually, she does find the metal plate and reads it by touch, which, by the way, that it bothered me when I first read this, because the reason why they invented Braille is because trying to read words by touch.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
Almost impossible,
Alan. Man,
almost
I was thinking it the whole time.
I don't care how much tin you have. It's almost impossible.
Okay, but it's not necessarily. It's LORD space RULER at the bottom that says Lord Ruler. It could be like one character for Lord, one character for Ruler, one character for both.
Sure, I guess they could have a different alphabet.
Look, if it was like hieroglyphics, then maybe, right?
Yeah.
The symbols, a lot of people correlate the symbols that you see at the top of each chapter being their alphabet.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I mean, but aren't half of them swirls?
Yeah.
If I was to run my finger over a swirl versus a different swirl, I'd be like, okay, this one means running water, this means backwater. I got nothing. I mean,
but you can tell the difference between like a C, a Q, and a D, right?
Depends on how big they are.
Touche.
Yeah.
So if it's a tiny one, no.
But but she reads it. So apparently her 10 enhanced finger touch.
There you go. We'll go with that.
We'll go with 10. I'm gonna say 10. That's the only way it makes sense to me.
There you go.
That the Lord Ruler wrote that Ruin had spoken in his mind, and that he tried to be a good. Or what? So the Lord Ruler wrote that Ruin had spoken in his mind, and that he tried to be good ruler, and that he cared despite the fact that if anyone read these words, that they were meant for, that meant he was dead. And that he hid Ruin's body well. And that Ruin was not omnipotent. Omnipotent. That's one of those fun words. Omnipotent, omnipotent. I think that's actually is it one of those ones that can be pronounced either way? Or is it omnipotent?
Epitome.
No,
Epitome.
see, we almost made an entire episode without you just torturing me with that mispronunciation.
Epitome.
Almost.
I've been binging your show. I know all the tricks.
So close. So close. Ugh.
The epitome.
Epitome.
The omnipotent, omnipotent. So let's talk about words.
Uh-huh.
I think it's omnipotent.
I think it is, too.
Personally,
Yeah.
It's one of those words where I feel like enough people mispronounce certain words that it becomes an official pronunciation.
All right, intensive purposes.
Like the word often.
Yeah.
Which now can be pronounced often. Because people have now said often enough that. But nobody says soften. You say soften. But now.
Yeah.
Petition to make it the pronunciation skizzers.
Skizzers? I kind of like skizzers though. I'll be honest.
It's like how literally has become figuratively actually in the Webster dictionary. It's actually one of the things.
No, they have actually oh no. Okay.
Yes,
Let's
no,
take
in the
a
Webster
firm
dictionary,
stance right
literally
here on
can
this
mean
podcast.
figuratively.
Nope. We're taking a stance right here. Bring it back.
I literally can't believe it.
Oh my god. They have now allowed you to use literally in a figurative sense. No.
Yeah. No, they have. It's now part of.
No.
There's lots of words like that like it's that people completely misuse a lot. Like decimate. People use the word decimate wrong all the time. Like they are decimated, which means to be destroyed by 10%. If you decimate, deca being the keyword, deca 10. Decimate. If you destroy something completely, it's obliterate. It's a different word. Obliterate. Not, which means to oblivion. That comes from oblivion. You destroy it to oblivion. It's destroyed. If you decimate something, you're destroying by 10%. But people have.
Oh wait.
But now decimate means oblivion. It's because people have misused it so much.
I got to bring it up. The other one that I hate. Conversate. Now it's a word. The word is converse, people. It's converse. Not
I've never
conversate.
heard conversate.
I have.
It's a conversation, but when two people are together, they converse, not conversate.
All right. So if one of your parents has a sister, who is that to you? Everybody go at once. How do you pronounce that?
It depends on how it depends on because I call it differently depending on how it flows.
Correct.
It depends on what area of the country you're from too. Because now,
well, I pronounce it differently from each different one depending on how it flows with their name.
So, for example,
Yeah.
I will say that, like, when talking to my aunt, I'll say, like, if I'm talking it just without the name, I'll say aunt, but with her name, I'll say aunt. So.
Same.
Yeah.
Aunt for me both ways.
I don't know.
But my wife is aunt.
I'm thinking too much about it. I don't feel like I could say it naturally.
I'm from Virginia. She's from Maryland.
Is it crown or crayon?
Crown.
Who says crown?
A lot of people say crown.
I heard crayon.
So when you get a set of Crayolas,
The crowns.
you call them crown.
Crown.
The Marines call those edibles.
Crayon.
What is that? That whole thing.
I'm a Navy brat. I'm allowed to say.
There you go.
I don't even know where it comes from, though. I just don't understand it.
I've never heard that.
I mean, I say
They don't like that
crayon.
joke, by the way. Well, the Marines, actually, some Marines like it. Some Marines have a better sense of humor than others.
I say crayons.
Crayons,
Yeah.
crayons, crowns,
I've never
crayons.
heard of crown before. Crown.
Yeah,
Okay.
crawfish, crawdads, craydads, crayfish.
Crayfish. Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of different, like, depending on where you are in the country. That's
Right.
Mayflies.
and the world. I mean, English have different, what's it, aluminium?
Aluminium.
Well, it's actually two different spellings of that word, though. So they actually it is aluminium spelled, and then we changed the spelling here. So there's actually reason why it's pronounced differently.
Anyway,
So
we can go talk about words for a long time.
oh yes. So on this lexicographers of podcast.
So anyway, what do you think about this metal plate? What do you think of this metal plate? Obviously, the Lord Ruler knew a lot about Ruin and was like, yeah, so I hit his body really, really, really good. So really well. We're not gonna he's never gonna find it, even if he gets out.
Right.
I got him.
Mm-hmm. So this is the other mention of the body, right, Will?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, you changed your name again. Words. I gotta pay attention, man. You're good on that name change situation.
Words.
Right.
Word up. Anyway, yeah. So thoughts about the plate?
Well, I mean, it's a metal plate. This is where Ruin has been hiding, hanging out, whatever.
Yeah.
But he can't change that, right? So
No, it's written steel or written metal.
just, the main thing I got was that they hit a body somewhere, his body.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of ironic, if that's the right words, that Ruin shows up here, and then they're also talking about where his body's hidden. So
Do you think it's actually a physical body, or do you think it's like a bunch of bones? Like
He can leap about. Look at the bones.
A rabbit of Care Bear shirt one time, just so I can have that ready to go for that plug.
Well, they said in the epigraph of the previous chapter that his power is his body.
yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So I mean, I feel like it's a body. I feel like it's a body, yaddy yaddy, right?
Okay. Cool.
I don't know.
Well, after all this, the cave door starts to open, and then we cut to black and we finish the chapter. So
Mm-hmm.
The Kool-Aid
somebody
Man.
opened it.
Mm-hmm.
So who done it? Who opened the door?
It's the Kool-Aid Man.
It's Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's reserved for guests only.
Yeah. That's not. Yeah, that's reserved. I agree. Yeah. I was waiting for like a really lame, like it's rain
Again.
Again. I was like, oh great, here we go.
Yeah.
You're like, Finn, it's me, your brother. I've come to rescue you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if it's Tensoon? What if the door is only opened by dogs?
Yeah.
It literally could be Tensoon, and that'd be fine. I would still hate his guts.
His dog guts.
I'd be like, thanks for saying.
Emotional damage.
Claim it.
Very much so.
Claim it. I claim it. I throw the slipper. Emotional damage. Claim it. All day.
Tensoon is the goodest boy.
He's the goodest boy. He's a good boy. Yeah, I mean,
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
can I pet that dog?
I ain't petting Tensoon anytime soon.
What if it's Kelsier?
Oh, I lost all audio.
What? I can still hear you.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, did you? Okay. We can hear you.
We can hear you.
No.
But he can't hear us saying we hear you,
hear
so
you.
it doesn't mean anything.
Yep. Sorry. Was it because I hit the buttons too much? Let's try again. All right. How about now? Can you hear us now? No. We are experiencing technical difficulties on the Cosmere Reads as Alonso tries to figure out what's going on. Reconfigure the power couplings. Some Star Trek. You gotta reconfigure the power couplings.
Reverse the polarity.
Yeah. Unplug and replug.
Turn it off and back on again.
Yeah. Yeah. I can kick him and have him join back in.
Maybe he just flipped like one of the
Remove him
masters.
and then add him back. Does that work? No. No, that didn't work.
Did he just
Lost
like
all
the master
audio.
switch on his headset?
Yeah. I don't know. I heard that.
We hear that.
Yeah, I hear that. Can you hear us now? No. Okay.
Just
Cool.
To sign language.
Yeah, we need signed.
Sign.
Too funny. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Besides, here, leave. Oh, I'm on caps. Hold on. There you go. Let's see if that works. Well, let Londo leave for a little bit. See if he comes back and has audio. Otherwise, it's gonna be interesting. So that's it for this chapter. Anything else from chapter 48 as the door opens before we move to the final chapter for tonight?
Not for me.
Okay. Chapter 49. One might ask why Ruin couldn't have used Inquisitors to release him from the prison. The answer is simple enough. If one understands the workings of power, before the Lord Ruler's death, he maintained too tight of a grip on them to let Ruin control them directly. Even after the Lord Ruler's death, however, such a servant of Ruin could never have rescued him. The power of the Well of Preservation and an Inquisitor could only have taken it if first removing their hemorrhagic spikes. This, of course, would have killed them. Thus, Ruin needed a much more indirect way to achieve his purpose. He needed someone who hadn't tainted too much, but someone who could lead by the nose, carefully manipulate. Alonso, are you back?
I am back. I can hear again.
All
Dang
right, it worked. So we were just reading the epigraph about Ruin and how he couldn't use an Inquisitor. He had to use someone else that he could.
It's talking about how you have to understand power to understand why he couldn't use an Inquisitor.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Inquisitors had too much. Ruin had too much control on the Inquisitors, apparently. So the only way is to remove the spikes that they would have been able to do it.
Yeah.
Someone that wasn't as tainted as much.
Yeah, so I see a triangle here of Ruin, the tainted people. Yeah. Like Ruin, who's tainted, who's not, right? So you got Sazed. You got Spook, who has been hemorrhagized, and I think he's tainted, right? But maybe he's not as tainted as Inquisitors.
Yeah, he doesn't have many spikes. He has a tiny little sliver.
But then you have someone like Vin, and Vin has been kind of affected by Ruin now, and so I'm like,
but how?
Reading that, I think it stems back to like her, abusive childhood.
Okay.
And that whole PTSD thing.
Okay.
So, and this I think it sort of explains why Ruin shows up in the cave when Ven gets locked in, and he's trying to manipulate her to like find the body.
Oh,
I don't know. I had to read that one like 4 times, but it's probably a lot of Rapho.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much of it that I feel like was Rapho. I'll be honest, I didn't really fathom what was going on with that, and I just kind of glossed over it after a while. I listened to it twice, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. By the way, did we already talk about the piece where they talked about how the Lord Ruler could only create. He created the Koloss, and
Contra.
let's say, wait, he could only create. He only created the 2 races, and he wasn't able to create more because he kind of like ran out of the ability to create. Yeah, the time to do that with the power that he had. Was that earlier? Or is that in this chapter? I can't remember.
That was earlier.
Okay,
that was like last episode, I think.
I can't remember if, if we glossed over it or what happened with that, but I just remember that that was a piece that was discussed earlier. Okay, got it. All right.
Do you think we can explain it?
Can you without giving
away? Oh no! Please do not tiptoe the line of spoilers if it's gonna,
It's not really tiptoeing. I'm just trying to put it in like the simplest term, like the pool, the liquid that was in the well.
I think we should leave it alone
Okay.
because it will be answered later.
Yes.
True.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So Raffles,
the whole question,
perfectly acceptable there.
Yeah.
The whole question here is there's some sort of power that we don't understand about, and there's more to understand there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting at this point.
Yeah.
Anything that's in the epigraphs does get explained in the actual book. That's why, like, on a first read through, we kind of recommend ignore the epigraphs.
Yeah, and I love going back and reading all the epigraphs together. Like when you get like towards the end of the book, and it's like it all just like makes so much freaking sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like reading it like a separate chapter.
Yeah.
Like right towards the end of the book, just like read the epigraphs as a chapter and just see how much sense it makes then.
It's not this book, but there's a book where actually it's beautiful because it's all just one letter, and it's it's just little segments, and you read it all together, and it actually flows perfectly together.
Okay.
Gonna be honest, I did not read the epigraphs the first time that I read these books.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was also in middle school at the time, so I was.
I mean, but you think about it though, you're basically taking a paragraph out of context and putting it in a chapter that has nothing to do with.
So the way Brandon Sanderson also writes his epigraphs, he's explained this in interviews before. Like he writes the whole book, and then he goes back and writes all the epigraphs out, and then just flows them in order, and it's nothing to do with necessarily the chapter that it's on.
Right.
It's like a separate story within the story, if that makes sense. So it has nothing to do with the chapter that we're about to cover. Yeah. But there's a whole story there as well.
But you'll also get times where like a chapter happens and then the epigraph of the next one explains what happened in that chapter. Like the first time you see Spook in this book, the epigraph of the next chapter like explains savantism.
Yeah. So, yeah, they do line up sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway. So Sazed, final chapter with Sazed. He's more canal talk. Alonda's favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out how to refill these canals.
I say it's nice because it shows like Sazed is actually like excited about learning again.
Finally.
And studying.
This guy.
Like, it's getting him out of his funk a little bit.
Yeah.
He cut off his emo flip. Good for him. He just shaved that little emo flip right off of his bangs. Good for him.
Went for a more he grew up. He decided to get a business job, get rid of the dyed black hair.
He's putting some gel in.
Yeah. Stop wearing a black cloak all the time.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good. So he starts to, try to recall back through his her minds about engineering. He's like, I didn't really study much of this stuff, but I got a little bit. So let's go ahead and see if I have engineering. Let's go. Which current minds just fascinate me. I mean, it definitely reminds me of like the Matrix. I know Kung Fu.
Yes.
Like,
God, I wish I could do that.
just tap into them like, and now I know it. All right, let's fly the helicopter. It's pretty cool. Sazed then speaks in detail to Breeze about how canals work. And Yolanda's favorite.
And well, Breeze is like Yolanda, where he's like, I really don't care about.
I'm happy that you're happy, man.
Exactly.
Wait, are you saying Yolanda is compared to Breeze? My dear man.
Oh, I swear.
Man.
Oh, Me and Breeze were on wavelengths here, baby. We were like eye to eye, and I was like, "I'm happy for you. Do your thing. Shutting it down. I'm going bye."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and Breeze is happy. Yeah, he's happy for him. So, but also Breeze, also talks about Spook a little bit. And he expresses some confidence in Spook's leadership. Although Sazin has reservations about it, like it's Spook.
And this is one that I really got thrown for a loop on this. I really thought of the two. I really thought Sazin would be the one super optimistic about Lester Bornes, and that Breeze would be the one coming in being like, it's not quite matching up. I feel like this is a juxtaposition of these two.
It's also, you got to think too, like, I mean, Sazin, both of them known him forever, but you think about it, like, I mean, they've known Spook since he was a little kid.
Right.
And it's one of those things like when someone like you've known since they were a little kid, like comes back and is now super educated, super smart, but you still view him in your eyes as a little kid. Like my youngest brother is still my youngest brother. He is now a transplant surgeon and does liver transplants. He is still in my mind, my little brother who I make fun of. Like, so he comes back into the conversation. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Dude. Like I don't trust you to do anything. Like, I know
my youngest brother works as a lawyer for the Virginia Supreme Court. Same situation. I was like, I remember when he used to smack your head around.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can't respect anything you say.
Yeah, it's like, oh, man, okay, I guess you're an adult now or something.
Yeah, whatever. Like I think Sazin has that point of view where he's like, I've known like he's looking at Lester Bornes or Spook as like that child he knew.
Right.
That was like very weak and timid and scared of everything, and clubs took under his wing and helped him, but was still like, it's Spook. And like Breeze is more like, yeah, let him shine, let him spread his wings, and Sazin's like, it's Spook though. Like,
and again, I feel like those two would be flipped.
Okay, yeah.
I would think that it would be the other way around. I mean, in my head, I'm not sure.
If we were talking in the last two books, then yes. But we got to remember, Sazin has become a skeptic.
Absolutely, he's seen some things. He's been through some things. Absolutely. But you're right. Previous two books, you would definitely think there would.
Yeah.
Other lily pad, right? But now this time they're like,
Yeah. And Breeze has PTSD from the Kolos attack, and like we see in this book, he's trying to be more outward with his feelings and everything.
Yeah, I mean, because Breeze near death, right? I mean,
yeah,
that'll probably make you a little optimistic, right? Something like that.
Yeah. So at this point, Spook joins them. He comes in, states that it's wrong. Like he feels like something's off. Like that must be a trap. I wish I needed to get it's a trap. But why is it?
Akbar. Yes.
Yeah, the Akbar. It's a trap. That Quellion has not attacked them yet. Like he's like, dude, by now, like he should be like hunting us down. Like what's going on? He says that Quellion came to power by getting people to go into the mist and declaring that the ones who lived were pure, and you get into the whole backstory of Quellion and how he rose to power and how he used the mist cleverly to make him, it's one of those things where I guess you think back how would he have known this stuff? Maybe he had witnessed it somewhere else and was like, I can use this now, opportunistic, to be a seer or someone that can predict stuff. Like comes in like, watch this. Everyone go in the mist. Only those that are worthy. Isn't this also where we find out that the mist doesn't kill nobles?
Correct.
Yeah. That was big news. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know that the mist doesn't kill the nobles, and the mist doesn't kill the terracemen.
Right.
This guy just got a bad deal of cards.
I mean, they are the subjugated masses. So
They're the stankiest of the stank.
Oh yes, they be bringing that stank.
Disgusting.
And the nobleman, it doesn't. Even if you were half ska, half noble, you could still be taken by the mists.
Right.
It's only
That's
true
pure
nobles.
blood. We're talking about some Harry Potter stuff now.
Yeah. So now we're getting some eugenics. So let's go.
Oh no.
No, let's- yeah. Not that we condone any of that at all on this podcast. And actually, full disclosure, eugenics is horrible. Please do not take that the wrong way.
I feel like we have said that disclaimer at least twice before on this podcast.
Yeah, we have. Eugenics is a bad
It
thing.
was the worst.
Just letting you know
That
that.
phrenology. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's
Terrible. Terrible.
terrible.
All right.
But yeah, so nobles don't die, but Quillian concealed that fact because he was like, yeah, miskill people that aren't loyal. We're not going to tell them that nobles don't die. And at this point, Caesar turns to they're ready to construct construction to the structures to redirect the water into canals. And at this point, they're interrupted because Gordell, one of the guards, sells Beldera. I can't pronounce it. Beldre.
Beltray, I think.
Beldra.
Beldra.
You had it
Yes,
right.
Yeah, Beldra.
Okay.
Has appeared asking to speak to Spook. So, anything about the canals, Alonso, that you want to talk
Can we
about?
hear more about canals?
Can we hear more canals before we...
A man, a plan, a canal, Panama.
Panama.
The worst palindrome of all time.
Hmm.
All right.
The
Move
Grand
on.
Canal of China was built in the 10th century.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
When was the Suez built? Was that like 1600s?
Suez is no. It's got to be later than that.
It was later than
Suez
that?
Canal. It's got to be like.
It's no. There's no locks. So it's just dug.
Yeah, and it's long. Jesus, it's long.
The familiar pound lock still used in Britain today is said to have been invented by Chiao Wei Yo
1858.
There you go. Because it was.
18
Yeah, the Suez
1858.
Canal's completion was what prompted people want to create the Panama Canal. So it wasn't
Right.
like hundreds
Yeah.
of years ago. It was like only like
1858.
Yeah.
That's when the Suez Canal was built. Panama was built a lot. Yeah. Anyway.
1900. Well, started by
1900s.
the French in the late 1800s, and then
But they had locks and everything. Locks are tough. It's
Yeah.
engineering feat.
yep, Panama Canal, basically a water bridge.
Go
They
up
basically
over a
flooded
mountain.
an entire area and made a water bridge so that way it would just go over everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I know way too much about canals. I don't want to talk anymore about canals. Moving on, people. Let's go.
We have a canal down in Chesapeake, in Virginia. There's the Great Bridge
There's
Canal,
canals everywhere, man.
but it has a lock. Actually, has a lock system.
Does it?
And Great
really? I
Bridge,
didn't know that.
and Great Bridge, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Chesapeake. Yeah, there's actually a lock. It drops the water by like a foot.
No kidding.
Like you go into the lock and it goes up or down a foot. Like
Uh-huh.
it's not a big one like Phantom. It's
There-
really it's like that's it. That's you really
Still,
like-
that's cool though.
yeah.
It's an engineering feat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
engineering feat.
There's also a
So
bunch of locks along the Mississippi River.
yeah, there are.
Yeah.
And also in the Great Lakes, there's locks going through the canals. I think the Erie Canal has locks. Oh yeah. Going on. So yeah, Beldra shows up asking to speak to Spook. And this is when we definitely she gets dealt a pretty bad set of cards here.
She's very naive.
Yeah. What was her plan on this one?
I don't know what her angle was, but it wasn't a good one.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
It's a
This is where I kind of fall out of love for Spook for a bit.
it's a bold strategy.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Let's see if it pays off. It does not.
Does not.
That was on TV last night. We watched it.
Dodgeball.
That
Dodgeball's great.
movie still holds up, man.
What's that actor's name? It's amazing to see like that role in
Justin
dodgeball,
Bateman?
and then like
Jason.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And now like where he is doing like the Ozark stuff, it's like
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Come a long way.
Arrested Development is like
yeah,
Michael
yeah,
Bluth, man. That's all I care about, man.
Yeah. There's always money in the banana stand.
There's always
money in the
in
banana
the
stand.
banana stand.
So yeah, Veldra meets with Sazed, Ariane, and Spook in the Canton building, and she pleads for him not to kill their brother. And they're like, who's this chick? And what the hell is she doing here? Spook, can you just catch us up? Like, what's going on? It's like, oh yeah, this is the citizen's sister. And they're like, oh, why are you here, good? Like, if we wanted to kill your brother, we would have killed him. Like, I mean, like,
she came in begging not to. I'm still trying to figure this whole move out.
She's naive. She's just like, hey, you guys are going to kill my brother. Can you please not? She doesn't understand. She's been sheltered.
I guess so, man. She came in and she didn't even have any type of collateral, nothing to be like enticing them to move away from that plan or trajectory. She was just like, so I just came in here to work on your tender mercies with the hope that you would, please spare my brother. The one that's been killing nobles left and right. If you could just spare him,
And Spook plays in a reverse card. He's like, yeah, you're now a hostage.
She's like, you can't do that. He's like, did you talk to any guards when you came in? She's like, yep. And he's like, did they force you to come in here? Nope. You came here on your own accord.
Mm-hmm. Cool. We got witnesses that say that too. Guess what?
Hey,
gotcha.
Got him.
Got him.
I don't want Spook in this chapter.
You've now defected from your brother. We have the evidence to prove it. So, fun times. You're now one of us. Congratulations.
I'm gonna say,
spoiler.
I'm gonna go back and say this really is though, and it's said in the chapter. I think it's said in the chapter. This is truly a Kelsier move, though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Kelsier through and through. You could easily see him like just start to finish executing exactly the way this went down.
If Ellen had showed up at Clubs' shop, 100% he would have been like tied up, thrown in a closet, and gagged in minutes.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So,
if not,
it felt like she was getting initiated like into their group almost.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
But it's not the Spook.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, she's a Mistborn. And she's playing dumb.
Oh, man.
Shocker.
I love Will's theory times, man. I love them every single time.
No.
She's a Ferrochemist Mistborn. She's the new Lord Ruler.
She's the new Lord Ruler. Man.
She's a Koloss, but she's actually a Spike.
She's just a spike.
Well, are you Vin thinking that everyone that she meets is a Mistborn?
Yeah, I'm.
That's right.
Yeah, very much a Sazed skeptic right now.
Yeah.
Vin is. She's all about that Oprah Winfrey action, and you're a Mistborn.
That's right. And you're a Mistborn.
You're a Mistborn. Everyone's a Mistborn.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, you're so close. She's actually the hero.
Yeah.
There it is.
Book's over.
How do you think this is going to play out for them? I think this is gonna. It's a bold move. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
It's a bold strategy.
It is. How do you think this is going to play out? Do you think it's going to? This is definitely a hasty strategy. I mean, it's not like a well thought out plan at all. It's just like opportunistic. We got this. Let's run with it and see where it happens.
I like the idea of doing something that is going to play somebody out of position using their emotional attachments. That's always a good. That's always a good maneuver, right?
Yeah.
But like he's so attached to her, like he's quickly gonna be like, "Where is my sister?"
Right, but he's gonna make a mistake because now. He's been logical, but I mean, his logic and his execution up until this point in time has been pretty good, generally. But I think he's about, because remember when that whole scene happened with the when there's the whole crowd and everything, and she saw, you know, her talking and everything, and he just like kind of freaked out and like really threw him off. This is gonna set him off some kind of way. And I think that's probably the best thing to do for somebody who's actually gotten this following under him, right? Is to actually expose him for his vulnerabilities emotionally, etc. Maybe instability, something that you could bring into the equation here too. So
Yeah,
I like it. I think it's a good idea. I think they executed it off the cuff, which is always dangerous.
yeah,
I think it's gonna force, because their plan was to like transition Quellion and replace him with someone on their side, and so it's gonna have to be Spook. And so he, stood on top of the building with the saving that victim, right, and like stare the dude down. So like people know who he is. So it's gonna force him to have to step into that position a lot more quickly than they were planning to, because they weren't really sure when. But
yeah.
Survivor of the flames.
Yeah, but I think Spook was already saying that even about himself. He was talking about how he could step up into that role. So I think he's ready to embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. And that's only in this chapter, pretty much. Her getting kept
Also,
captive. Yeah.
I do want to point out the fact that Alriad notices that Beldra is a noble.
Yeah, she got jealous really quickly.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had like a little thing going on there.
Yep.
Yeah, Breeze is like, because you got competition, and she's like, it's not competition.
Yeah.
I missed that though. She's a noble.
Yeah.
Which means her brother's noble? By default.
Don't they say steps? Half
Maybe.
brothers?
What? I don't know if they say it's.
I didn't make that jump automatically. I just
I
went
thought they
with
said half brothers.
her.
Yeah.
I might be comparing it to like Vin and Reen though.
Yeah. Because they're not full relatives, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Vin and Reen? Yeah, no, they're half siblings.
Yeah, because Finn's mom was like.
They don't have the same dad.
Was a prostitute. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Vin and Reen have the same mom. They have different dads.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Any other thoughts from this before?
I gotta share something. So Tara was texting me. She came up with a crazy theory, and this goes back to the chapter with Marsh when he goes to go after, what's his name?
Penrod?
Who? Yeah. And it's talking about the various forms of spikes and how they can even be little slivers of metal, like even like a needle. So Tara's texting me, and she's asking about Vin's earring. So theory time. Earring has a little needle, right?
Okay.
We're curious because I think she's onto something. If Ruin is speaking to Vin vis-a-vis and brought her to the Well of Ascension through that earring, because she's not like, that's a little bit of taint. That's not a lot of taint, but it's just enough. So I thought that was a really interesting point. She didn't put it in the comments, but I wanted to bring that up because I'm looking at all of your faces right now, trying to get something out of it. But
you're looking for that poker
anyways.
face.
Yeah, he's like sitting there smiling.
I always felt like there's an
know.
importance to that earring. I've always
tell more. Go into this earring more. Let's talk about the earring.
Yes, let's talk about Vin's jewelry.
Let's talk about Vin's jewelry a little bit. Let's talk about how Vin got her jewelry. Do you
want to go back to chapter 1 with her arrowhead?
Yeah, let's talk about what Reen told her how she got her earring, what her mother had done.
Do you guys remember?
Do you guys remember what her mother did? Had just
so her yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Did her mom just forcefully put it in or something?
Right, she did.
She was a baby.
I feel like we should keep this secret, and they have to decide. They have to go back and find it.
Go back and find out. Go back and find out.
I have to go back to all my notes now. Great. Okay, here we go back to.
No, we don't have to go back. I just
So
There's something there. That's all I wanted to say.
Vin's is a sister.
Vin's sister.
Vin's sister?
Vin's mom.
Reen
killed-
found Vin lying in a pool of blood after Vin's mom had just killed
her
Vin's sister,
right,
and given her an earring.
Yep.
So that is hemorrhage.
And that is when Reen took
that is-
Vin away.
That's when Vin took Vin away. Yeah.
Right. So that technically is hemorrhage then.
So she's tainted
Maybe.
a little bit.
Maybe.
You'll have to see.
Okay.
Wrap up. Wrap up.
I mean, that's me tooting my wife's horn.
Yeah, and she's reading along with us, so she's not read ahead. So it's not like it's.
Yeah, she's in the comments.
Right.
Tara. She's Tara in the comments. But.
she just did surprise FaceTimes too. So yeah, Vin. Yeah, fun
Okay,
little callbacks. Cool. So yeah. Any more thoughts?
Now you got me
I'm
deep
done
diving
for
in my
the
notes.
Now Londa's going back. Like, what did I?
Yeah, thanks for this. Now I'm gonna like not sleep tonight. Looking through my notes.
Well, I'm not sleeping either about what is it? You said spider webs or energy webs or whatever earlier. God.
Too good.
That's
And it
more
wasn't either
fundamental
of
how
those.
Magic works in the Cosmere. It's not anything specifically.
Oh.
It's
There's
more
one
just
word that describes how
magic
all of magic
technically
works
Go
in
on.
Godspear, but
Yeah.
we're not going to get to that until we get to Stormlight Arc.
After you guys finish Hero of Ages, bring me back on. I'll explain everything in
Explain
detail.
Oh, very good. Very good.
I'll answer any question.
I know. I want to
I'll
reread
probably
the first
sleep
chapter again. Yeah.
I'll probably
So-
sleep pretty good tonight.
Craziness.
I did,
That's interesting theory, Will. Interesting theory, Tara. I'll give Tara credits for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Tara.
yeah, give her.
Interesting. So yeah.
She's smart.
Yeah. So the theory is that Vin might be spiked and have been spiked this entire time.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Her entire life since she was a child, because Ruin's always been there since she was a child. I didn't.
He's still trying to read us.
No, I'm just tired.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts before go to our next part? No. Okay. Any questions from
It's
you
getting
guys?
juicy.
From Kay and Reader, anything you guys questions? Anything we missed? Anything else you want to talk about or ask them? First time, it's a rare opportunity you get to ask a true first time reader random questions and try to be evil. So, like directed questions to try to throw them off.
Who do you think is writing the epigraphs?
Who's writing the epigraphs? Okay.
I don't feel like all these epigraphs are written by the same character.
Okay.
I mean, unless I'm missing something, I feel like some of them are written from different eras or different time periods.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I can't say that I feel like all of these are written by the same person. I haven't made that assumption, but again, I have to go back and reread them all again because
Yeah.
I haven't really collected them all to like go back through them.
I think Yolanda's writing them.
A lot is writing them. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
I,
found
I
me
agree
out,
with
man.
what Yolanda said, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Spook.
Spooks writing.
Lester Bourne is. He's been writing them the whole time.
Lester Bournes.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Favorite character?
I can go with anybody, even if they're just named, right?
Hope.
Correct.
Tensoon was named.
Tim Toon was named in this episode.
I'm gonna go with Rashik.
Rashik. Okay. Why?
This guy did so much to try to save the world, and yeah, it turned him into this dictator type character. But when you think about how much immense power and what he was trying to do and accomplish, you just have more and more understanding of what empathy for him in that moment, right?
Sure.
And it's like I just feel terrible that unfortunately that power corrupted him. I'm going to say corrupted, and I'm really going to use the air quotes on corrupted. I don't feel like it corrupted him as much as he just felt like he was at a level he didn't have to like really explain himself to everybody else. But there's also the possibility of influence, ruin, being involved in all that. I think about what the amount of what he had to carry on his shoulders in that moment, and at the time was a very young guy. I'm just like, it's immense. I think it's immense, and I think that something's got to be, somebody's got to be, appreciative of what he had to do to try to save the world.
Yeah,
it didn't quite work out. Obviously, there's a lot of holes in what he did.
Yeah,
and he did it with the best of intentions.
Right. And it's one of these books. I like how Brandon Sanderson writes it. Like the fact that in the first book he is the big bad, and then as you read more and more about Rashik, you're like, I mean, yeah, he did horrible things. I mean, he definitely kept the institution of slavery going strong, and that's always a horrible thing, no matter which way you cut it.
But it wasn't like he just came into a position of power and he was like, I cannot wait to wield this power and just lord over everybody. It's not being framed that way as of right now. And so I'm going to put it out there and say, if nothing else, the book has done a good job of making me have a lot of second thoughts about the things I have perceived until this point. And so he's my character right now because I think he's a lot more complex than I came into this whole series of books thinking of him.
You don't know what I do for mankind. Even if you don't believe it, I was your god.
His last words.
That was for his last words.
I will agree he's a complex character, but that doesn't take away he was a horrible person. Like, he was a racist and a bigot from the start. He has done other things that I cannot go into because of spoilers. Like, he castrated his own people just to prevent somebody else from rising against him.
Yep.
Like, yes, he was like precautious.
I didn't say he was a good character. I said he's my character for this episode. I think that there's a lot more complexity to him. I never said he was a great person. I just feel like there's a lot more nuance there that it's easy to think of somebody in a very one-dimensional sense, and then you start to like have this explosion of personality that occurs, and then trying to understand all the things that influenced him to get to that point. So yeah, he has a lot of issues, but the fact that the complexity of this character has come to so much fruition through these last couple chapters has made him just really intriguing to me. And that's the reason why he's my character, because it's like I really want to know everything about like how he came to the decisions he came to, all the things. I mean, the decision to move the planet and create these other races, create the Koas, create the Khandra, all this stuff. And I'm just like getting really into it where I'm not aligning with him, but I'm crazy curious now. So that's why he's my character.
I just want it to be known, like, this wasn't a situation of power corrupts absolutely. He was a horrible person to begin with. And it's not like he was a good person that over the years got bad. He was bad, kind of became worse, but he did a few good things. Yeah.
But I think with Londa's point, some of the things he was trying to do were for the betterment of everyone.
Right.
But as a person, he was a horrible person. But he also was looking at things more big picture. And some things.
Yeah.
You given Rashik a little credit this podcast.
Yeah.
And also intrigued.
So he did hide Ruin's body as well. So
yeah, he did hide Ruin's body. Yeah. Will.
But go with Sazed. It was nice to see him get reinvigorated.
Cut the emo
by learning. Yeah, studying up on engineering and mathematics so he could delve into the realm of hydrophysics and
here we go.
canal making. But yeah, nothing more than that. It's nice to see him in good spirits again. So hopefully that stays for a while.
Cool.
What about you guys?
My favorite character is Vince Earing.
So basically,
I have a name.
So you're giving your character of the episode to Claire's boutique.
To Claire's boutique, yeah.
I'm not, Alan. I'm not sure that character was mentioned in this section.
That's right. That's right.
I think probably for me in this section, my favorite was just getting to see Ruin for the first time. Like, 'cause this is the first time that we've actually had like a conversation with Ruin.
Right.
Good one.
And no, it actually is Ruin.
And,
Yes.
the beautiful destroyer, the beauty of destruction.
Yes.
You're talking about the chapter or the section titles last time, Alonda. This section is called Beautiful Destroyer. And I think that just goes back to at least this one's a very nose, like, because he talks about the completion, the beauty of destruction.
Because we said we need to do that when we get to the end of this book. We need to go back and look at those actual section names.
Yep. And see how they relate to the section.
Let's not forget to do that. Yep. Cool.
This one's more on the nose.
Yeah.
Ruin's a good one.
I'm gonna pick Elend. I love Elend. Elend is my favorite from book 1 to book here. Love him. He's great.
Yeah. Cool. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. This has been fun.
Thank you for having
really
us.
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. How can people find you guys?
We are Cosmere Connections on you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. So
Spotify,
also on YouTube, Spotify, YouTube. Come check us out if you're reading for the first time or if you're rereading.
When you guys finish this book, come and watch our episodes.
They do a good job in their episodes, and because I've been on the show to say this, like the first part is usually spoiler free, or they try to stay to that, and then they stop and then go full spoilers at the end, where we connect everything.
I'm not allowed to listen to anything unless Alan actually approves it. So I don't even listen to any podcasts. Nothing. I
keep Will and Alonda locked in my basement.
He does.
And,
it's terrible.
Well, in that case, he might need to watch our episodes because we can get pretty off the rails and start talking about like spoilers for completely different books.
Yeah.
Only in the spoiler section. In the spoiler section.
I cut out the chapters they need to read this week and I throw it down in the basement and let them.
We got a dumb waiter.
Yep. Give them some food, and say, "Hey, here's your reading." We're going live in a few hours.
And it's not even good food; it's just Soylent Green.
What chapters do you have?
No, it's. So you guys, your channel is called Read and Find Out. Is that correct?
No, we are Cosmere Connections.
Oh,
yeah.
So if Alan approves for us to listen, because I have not even
you turn it off halfway through each episode, but they stop and
there is a definitive we stop here. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't go on. So you guys can definitely watch like the first half. It's a question of whether or not we talk about like Stormlight Archive for Elantris or
that's one thing I don't know of whether or not those slip in or not every now and then.
Okay.
They probably do.
Yeah, they probably do. And we're gonna eventually read all those. So.
They definitely do it, but only in the spoilers section.
Only the spoilers.
We do a good job of making sure to not talk about any non-Mistborn stuff in the non-spoiler section. We focus on the book that we're reading and the chapters that we're reading. The spoiler section, it's all fair game there.
All right.
So when do we get the next
Papa
secret?
Allen, if Papa Allen approves, then we're in.
When's the next Secret Project title drop? Is that
The end of this month.
the 20th, right?
Yeah.
It's 20th. It's
Isn't it?
10 days.
Comes out in the fall, I believe.
Cool.
No, it comes out next year.
Okay.
I thought we were getting it fall this year.
And he broke his new record for the most raised money ever for Starter. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what
He
it's
broke
at.
his own record. He had the Kickstarter record, and he broke
Mhm.
his own record.
Yep.
It's now at over
Yeah,
17 million.
It was like 15 million last time. Oh, it's 17 million now. Okay.
17 million.
Yeah, last
Out
time I
of-
checked, I saw it's 15 million. It came up on my Google feed. I was like, holy
Yeah.
cow.
$17 million.
Yeah.
He raised like 14 million in 24 hours.
So the secret project comes out 2025.
Okay.
I
Yes. That is what it says. That is what it says. I am literally on the FAQs of the Backer Kit website right now.
There you go.
It says the things are going to be shipped out in March.
No, it's
We get
it's-
charged March,
so-
and that they're going to be sent
so
out in the fall of this year.
Listen, Raider. So
I'm getting flashback.
fall. This is what happens every episode. Fall is the leather bound and
Of Words of
the-
Radiance. Yeah.
the
Oh,
leather
yeah,
bound of
every-
Words of Radiance and the Dragonsteel Prime hardcovers get shipped out,
Yeah.
as well as if you
I'm
have
so excited
any
for that.
I'm
add-ons.
so excited for that.
If you have any add-ons that you got to your stuff, those will also be shipped in the fall in a
So-
separate package. And then in 2025 is when they're going to do the secret project boxes.
But Dragon Steel Prime is not canon,
Correct.
Yeah.
but he's going to release it finally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
No, no,
Dragon Steel is the main overarching story behind the Cosmere. That's what company Dragon Steel. This is not spoilers. And he wrote this book called Dragon Steel Prime and never released it.
It was
but
his college thesis.
it was his
and
college thesis and how he started the whole idea for the Cosmere. But he has come out and said it's not canon. So it's not. It's what he thought of in college and where all the Cosmere is going to go. It's not where it's going anymore. But he's finally going to release that original manuscript that really none of it matters, but it's still cool to find out the origins, and see like where it started. So anyway,
Who are the other authors that he's supporting through these efforts, though? Because he's talked about, these like smaller authors and stuff.
oh,
Do you guys know
Audible,
any of
yeah,
them?
he's stuck it to Audible. And Audible actually backtracked and did a bunch of stuff for smaller authors. I mean, that's one of his big things is so with the original Secret projects, he made this big stand against Audible and how much they screw over independent small authors.
Right. But I was just wondering,
Um,
do we know who those authors are that have aligned with him? That he's actually, because I mean, he specifically went out and said, this Kickstarter. Well, I keep saying Kickstarter, and that's wrong.
Yeah.
Backer Kit.
Right. But I was just wondering who these authors are. Do we know who they are? Because I would like to have them on my radar.
I think it's everyone. I mean, he was just one of those, like, you treat all independent small authors with crap. Audible does. And he went after Audible in general.
But there's not a
but-
specific
You can-
cadre of small authors that
No.
he's like
No.
aligned with or anything like that.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's just
Though
all-
you can look to see which crowdfunding campaigns Dragonsteel is
yeah.
funding.
Mhm.
Because they have gone through and
So
funded a bunch of
I might
campaigns.
have my numbers wrong, but like with the way Audible used to do things, and they're changing this now slowly. But the way if you're a small independent author and you publish a book, like they would only give, I think it was like 35 or 25% royalties to the author.
Mhm.
So they would take 75% for themselves and only give you 25% of all sales. So, and then
Which means
also
unless
they
your
weren't
book's
transparent, so they wouldn't even share what the sales were. They just send you a
Yeah.
check and say, "Yeah, this is what we owe you." And like, but how much did I sell? Like, we're not going to tell you.
Mhm.
We're just going to send you a small check. And Brandon said that's not fair to small authors to do that. When you have like the music industry or anything else, like in the music industry, for example, like on Spotify, they get close to 75% of all royalties, whereas authors, small authors, not big authors, they can negotiate with Audible for big authors. The small guys were getting like basically shafted, and they said that's you're using your platform to screw over. So he's like, I'm not going to release my books on your platform until you fix it.
Got it.
Which it sounds like he is. They are fixing it. He was able to get them
to change some of those things. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So it's taking a stand
Good for him.
against Amazon and the evil corporation of Jeff Bezos. Wait, Spotify? No, we do Spotify. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. did you be losing your sponsors? No. Okay. Audible's not a sponsor of ours. Cool. So anyways, next week we'll be covering on St. Patty's Day. I think it's St. Patty's Day. We'll be doing 5 chapters. So
okay,
50 through 54. Yep. So.
Just give me a great trivia question, and remember, who's the new CEO of Amazon?
Oh, it's not Jeff Bezos anymore.
Nah, it's been a different guy since like 2021.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to look it up because I do trivia, and I got trivia night tomorrow. Okay. It's one of those questions that'll come up or something. Like, make sure I'm on top of that.
You have to do St. Patty's Day trivia too. Where do you play?
At Manhattan's.
Oh, what day is that?
Mondays at 7.
Okay, I might have to show up sometime.
Oh yeah, come through. Well, actually, I can't. I'm there, but I can't actually play officially because I have an on-call team that reports to me, and so I have to have access to my phone at all times. And they have a strict rule: you cannot look at your phone at all. And I'm like, sorry, my job's got responsibilities. I have like teams of people that work for me that are on call. If they need to reach out to me, sorry, screw this trivia nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I go just so I can participate and I see everybody, and I don't cheat, help anybody out or anything. But yeah, if you come through, I'll be there.
Okay, cool. All right. Sounds good.
And just so that information is there, Alan, your episode on schedule will be airing April 3rd. So that'll be the episode that we had you on.
Oh, cool.
That's when that episode will be
posted. The day after my birthday.
Oh,
awesome. April 2nd is my birthday. So.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have April 1st and April 2nd birthdays.
April 6th.
I might be very hungover, but I'll try to watch it.
There you go.
So, yeah, cool. How we can be found is at thecosmereads.com. You can find links to all sorts of cool stuff like our Discord, our social media, and our merchandise. We do have Ska Steak t-shirts and all sorts of our logo stuff. You also can support us on Patreon if you're so inclined and you want to be such a lovely person to give to us on Patreon. We do have different tiers on that with a bunch of different other stuff you can do as well. So check us out there. And if nothing else, like, subscribe, do all those fun things that help the algorithm. Let other people know that we exist. Do all those things. Write reviews too. If you're so inclined, I like reviews, good and bad. So if I read them, I will try to read them on air. I don't always go and check them. So unless they're like forced notified to me, which some of them are, I'll see what I can do. But anyway, so that's all I got for this week. So until next time, guys. Bye. Thank you for watching the Cosmere Reads.
God stink fresh. God stink fresh.